Hey everybody. Just ended my show, the afternoon show on WVON in Chicago. And wow, this lighting looks beautiful. Let me hurry up before it goes down, okay? I opened up the show. Atiba was out today. That's my co-host. So I decided to talk about the American dream. The American dream. What does that look like for you? I don't think I ever had an American dream. Probably need to have an African American dream. African American dream in America. What does that look like? It's gotta be tough. Because you start out, you told, like my doctor put black on my birth certificate. He labeled me. He was like, she's black. And I was like, I didn't know anything. I was a baby. Then I got older and I was being told, you're a beautiful black baby. You're a beautiful black girl. Okay. Is that a beautiful white girl? Is that a beautiful... Why does the word black have to be so emphasized? Okay, anyway. And as I got older, I was told that I would have to work harder because I'm black. So where's the American dream in that? Like, to achieve what? Oh, those clouds look scary. I have to work harder because I'm black, which I didn't choose. And now I got to come up with an American dream. So I was told the American dream is to have a husband, 2.2 kids, a house, and a white picket fence, and a dog. But I've never been to one. I've never been to a house with a white picket fence with a husband and wife and 2.2 children and a dog. Never. Not until high school. I take that back. Grade school, I had a best friend named Lynette. She had 2 parents, they were married, and she had 4 other sisters. It's like, wow, her parents are actually married, My great-grandparents were married. Anyway, great aunts, older people were married. They stayed married. I didn't get a chance to see it like up close though, like how to act as a wife, how to be a wife. Should I be a wife? Am I wife material? And then we broke to Hillary Rodham Clinton, the former Secretary of State. And she was at Operation Push. So we broke to that live as they introduced her on the stage. It was pretty cool. And then we went to Ted London. Attorney Ted London talked about, he had a guest on. And they talked about Alzheimer's disease, how it affects black people. We get so much, don't we? Blacks are suffering from Alzheimer's more than anybody else. And I have to wonder why. The disease, is it manufactured, or is it something that we're doing that we shouldn't be doing? It could be all the aluminum in the toothpaste, the aluminum in our mouth. It could be the aluminum in our deodorant. It could be the food we eat. It could be a myriad of things. Maybe all of it. So yeah, we had that. And then we went to Relationship Thursday. I believe the topic was, why do black men, why are they so afraid of marriage? And what would make it more attractive? Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. It's like, man, all this blackness is just so negative. Being black is something else, isn't it? If I was an alien, I came here to be black, I'd be like, whoa, put me back on the other planet. But you hear people say, I love being black. I love it too, because it's never boring. Never a dull moment. And I won't get into the weeds. Well, yes, I will. Okay, so people called in on this and somebody, God said, the man and a woman. That's not what we were talking about, but it was great information, to encourage people that, you're supposed to be married. Okay, that's nice. But why is it that black men are afraid of marriage or remarriage? that have been married. And we talked about the laws and how they favor the woman, where a man can lose it all to a woman. Hell, there's that word again, except it's not black, it's man. So black men are losing it all. Oh my goodness. We can't win. Our marriage rates are much lower than the rest of the world. Let's just stick with this country. Why don't we marry each other? And then, of course, my guest co-host jumped in and said, you know, women are twerking. They're loud. I've heard that from my own children. And my son is 16. Are we raising our daughters, which I don't have any, to be loud, to be seen, to twerk on top of cars? Boys see it, and in the moment they're like enjoying it. It's like going to a strip club. They don't even have to go to the strip club because they can get all that twerking right there. They don't have to go to the movies because you're loud, you're entertaining, you're animated right there. And then you want them to take you out. For what? The entertainment is right here. Yeah, they'll enjoy the entertainment, but they won't aspire to marry you. And what about me? Did I get lucky? I got married when I was in my 30s. It didn't last. I had 2 boys already and gave my husband, my then husband, 2 more boys. Did he feel sorry for me? Or was I one of those people? Was I an example? See, I wasn't loud and I was all dressed up and I met him in church. I wasn't twerking. Twerking wasn't out yet. It wasn't. But did I get lucky to be chosen? But it didn't work. So that was another topic that came up. Why get married? It's just gonna end in divorce anyway. That's a scary comment to make. That's scary to hear. It's horrible. Guys, how do we bring it back? Like, do you know collectively we're more successful together? 2 people in the household. Don't run from it. Oh, I'm driving, sorry. I'm a knee driver. 2 people in the household, right? Let's say you got an Amazon package coming. You don't have to stress out and think somebody's going to take my package because you got a spouse at home. There's a pro. 2 people in the household. Let's say you're running short on a bill. You can ask your spouse. There's a pro. Let's say you forgot to lock the door. Your spouse goes behind you and checks it. I tell you what, last night I forgot to close my trunk. I woke up in a panic. Did I close my... And sure enough, it was still open. Wow. You need someone to kind of have your back, right? Here's what okay, we didn't talk about this, but I want to tell you something we didn't have time for. People are getting married for transactional reasons, whether it be money, loneliness, guilt, convenience, right? Why do I say transactional? Because once the transaction is completed, the marriage is over. You no longer need to be married. You're like, okay, some people marry for status. Yeah, they want to be married. You know, but you don't want to be married. You want the wedding, you don't want the marriage. Once that status has been proven, you got the missus in front of your name. Now what? You throw your husband away? Just to say you did it? I've done that. Been there, done that. Some people get married for money. They need money at the time, and then when they don't need the money anymore, they don't want the man or the woman anymore. Money, transaction. Some people get married for companionship. Well, that's not a bad reason, right? Because if you want companionship, you're giving companionship, and you guys are companions. But what about getting married for the sake of being a team? We're a team. love teamwork. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sometimes we don't know how to be a teammate. Not a roommate, teammate. You gotta you always cheer for your teammate. Sometimes you want to put your teammate down and make them the opponent. Not good. Not good at all. How do you make love cool again? Love is cool, man. Ain't nothing like being married to somebody and they stand up for you. Nothing like being married to somebody and you stand up for them. You go all in. You give them all your love, not some of it. If they have, I don't know, if you let them into your heart and you know that they got you, right? But you also know that they have your back because you just have to fall and see. You really do. You just have to trust that they have your back until they don't. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. But I ain't scared. I ain't scared to be scared. I've been scared before. Well, after Relationship Thursday, we also had guest host Cheryl Grace from Powerful Penny. She comes on every week. But we had to move on to the next. We had to get rid of Relationship Thursday. And oh my goodness, I couldn't hold it in. I had to talk about Carmelo Anthony and Metcalf. The gentleman that was stabbed by the gentleman Carmelo Anthony. He was 17 when it happened. And even a year ago on April 2nd when it took place, we talked about it on our afternoon show, Atiba and I. And even then, I said the same thing I say today. He should have never brought that knife. I said yesterday, he should have got his butt kicked. And just walked away. And people called in and said, yeah, who's going to get their butt kicked and walk away? I said, I have. Had I stabbed the girl that kicked my butt in high school, I'd still be in jail. Or have a record, or go back. I love my freedom. Therefore, it is important. It is important that I make the right decision that doesn't affect my freedom. But are we telling our children that? Are we telling them how to survive an argument, a fight, a disagreement? Are we teaching them? Can they be taught? Are we qualified to teach them? Yeah, that part. I talk to my kids and I say, don't take your life and don't take anybody else's. We know too many stories about someone who got beat up and then went and got a weapon and killed the person that beat them up. They don't always come home. In fact, very rarely do they. But was it worth it? Or could you have healed from that butt whooping? I'm sorry, but I'd rather heal from the butt whooping. Sue them later or something. Because when you take their life, they don't, it's not like they feel it. They're gone. The family feels it. The family didn't beat you up. Yeah. So we got into that. It got a little deep. I've had people call in and say, I'm missing something. They're talking about how big the boys were and how that. None of that matters. They were 17. They were 17. He was 17. He went to their tent because it was raining, like it's raining right now. And the guy approached him. Metcalf approached and said, "Hey, get out of our tent." And he refused, and I wasn't there, and neither were you. And they can all feel the need to put a story together, I don't know. But if my man Carmelo Anthony did not have that knife, we wouldn't be talking about him today. That's all I'm saying, people. We can try to redraw the lines, but it was 60 of them on him. Okay, 60, yeah. Pull out a knife. I mean, pull out a knife that you shouldn't have had. Were they trying to kill him? We'll never know. We'll never know. But we do know what happened, and that was that Metcalf he never returned home. He didn't get to live another day. And yeah, he might have been a bully in that moment. He may have had jock fever at that time. But Carmelo Anthony will relive that day and that moment for the rest of his jail sentence life. Probably the rest of his life. That was the end. That was the end of the show. That could have gone on for an hour or two. Shout out to everybody for listening, watching, witnessing. Share the show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's LaDonna Raeh Show on YouTube. I love you all. And you get home safely and talk to your kids and tell them your only job when you're outside, outdoors, or in any situation is to get home, return home, and stay alive. Same thing. And stay free. So to get home means to be free to come home, to be alive to come home. If your only job is to get home, that means ain't no police, ain't no bullets, none of that. Get home. That's your job. In fact, let me see where my kids are. They better be at home. Also, when you and your children are at home at the same time, and it's after work, after hours, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, take the phones. Take them. They don't need to talk to anybody but you. But I gotta do my homework. Okay, let's see. Show me. Show me the homework you have to do on your phone. Yeah, don't play those games with them. Sometimes it's easier just to give in. Don't do it. All right? I love you all. Oh, heck, my son is not home. Bye. I gotta go.